Hey guys, Will the Aspie here. I'm just gonna tell you a little story about a Western show that I was watching today. Um, if you ever heard of the Wagon Train, it was the Wagon Train, old black and white TV Western. Excuse me. Anyways, the okay. So what happened in the episode? Basically, there was an attractive lady that was I think the daughter of like some rich guy or something, and was she rode away from the wagon train to follow this guy, and he was kind of like the scout of the wagon train or whatever. And so he didn't want any part of her. So then she met another guy that was just riding away from the train, and he ended up having like a troubled past with like jealousy and stuff, and apparently had killed people over jealousy and stuff. But anyways, what happened was this guy and the girl were like kind of like love at first sight or whatever, or at least they thought, and they were like kissing and everything and talking about stuff. But whenever the woman heard that the guy didn't want to get married, um, she kind of just didn't like it, and she just kind of went away from him. And the guy didn't want to get married because he'd already been married, and he was it just it didn't go well for him, I'm guessing, and he got divorced or whatever. And so basically, this girl didn't want any part of the guy because he didn't want to get married. Um, and then there was an Italian guy that also noticed this girl, and the Italian guy, I'm Italian too, but who cares? The Italian guy was really actually in love with her, and he wanted to marry the chick, but the girl at that point was not sure of what she wanted. Or at least she basically what she was doing was she wanted to make the first guy jealous of the Italian guy. So she basically used the Italian dude to make the first guy jealous, and that is just wrong in the first place. But anyways, what happened was the two guys were in a kind of like fighting over the girl situation, and the first guy was actually kind of relaxed and didn't want to really fight or anything. Um, he was just confused and full of emotion. But anyways, what happened was the Italian dude was loading his gun, his pistol, to go and fight the first guy. But the girl went to stop him, and the girl was explaining about how she was just trying to make him jealous and stuff. And the Italian guy really wanted to marry this girl, and she was just basically using him to make the other guy jealous. And at that point, he was loading his gun, his pistol, and he accidentally whenever he was talking to the girl, he accidentally shot her, and she ended up surviving. But the Italian guy called the girl a devil, because she was just playing with their feelings and making them feel bad and trying to fight each other, make them try to fight each other and whatever. And I guess the moral of the story um, was women aren't worth it sometimes, and especially a woman like that. And I ended up kind of like, at that point, I was crying because I know what those situations are like. I've never been to the point where I'm loading a pistol trying to fight over a woman, but I've been to the point where a woman just was not good for me, and I basically some women, the way they dress and something about them just makes you obsessed with them, and that's basically what was happening in this episode of the Wagon Train. And she ended up surviving, but she felt really bad about it afterwards, and that's perfectly normal to feel bad about trying to make someone jealous, uh, trying to make people jealous and trying to make them fight over you. But that's what girls do a lot of times. They don't do it on purpose. They don't like really try to make people jealous on purpose, but sometimes they do. And this was based in the old west on the wagon train. So it happens today and it's happened hundreds of years ago. It just back then it wasn't nearly as much, you know. Usually people got married and were very old fashioned, obviously, and there was, you know, of course, whores and stuff around back then, but not as many as there are nowadays, sadly. Sometimes I wish I was living in the Wild West. Maybe there would have been some better people around that would understand and be more old fashioned, like, you know. But I'm guessing the moral of the story is jealousy can kill, and obsession to women can kill and just make you all messed up inside, you know. You feeling a lot of emotions when it comes to girls, especially if you're a young guy that really likes a girl. So, I guess what I'm saying is just, you know, you got to, you know, and it made me cry too, so because it was a kind of personal thing that I've dealt with is girls that are just messed up. They're not messed up. They're just not good, and they take advantage of you, and they'll make you feel horrible. They can dress pretty all they want, but they're not as pretty as they really look. Just keep that in mind with some of those girls. But if you're fortunate enough to find a girl that is decent and has some morals and everything and can understand you and likes you for who you are, that's fine. Um, but then at the end of the show, the lady was sitting on a bed, you know, kind of healing from her wounds, and she said she never wanted to see those two guys again, and she wanted to keep going to San Francisco or whatever. So, you know, people sometimes have a hard time resisting themselves. I mean, girls have a hard time resisting themselves around men if they're not really dedicated, if you know what I mean. So it kind of hit me. That storyline hit me. So I just kind of felt a need to share this story with you guys. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time or anything, but I just wanted to share that little story from that TV show. Um, so yeah, I'll see you guys later.